Let's take a minute and look at the offset command. The offset command is located under the Modify toolbar directly underneath the Erase command. The offset command allows you to make a copy of an object at a specified distance. So for example, if I have this line right here and I want to make a copy of that exact same line a quarter of an inch to the right, I can click on the offset button and type in 0.25 for the distance, pick the object, and click on which side I'd like to see the object. So there's a little preview that pops up before you click. So if that's exactly where you want it, you just click and then the object is copied. We do stay in continuous command, so if you want to do this again at the same value, you can just continue to click on the object and pick the side. You can also go to the left. If this were a line and you were trying to go offset, same distance. Oh, and pay attention over here in the brackets. When you have a dimension in the bracket here, that means that that's what it's going to be. If you hit the enter button right now, it's going to offset 0.25. So click on that, and you can either go up or down. And let's just throw a dimension on here to verify that exactly 0.25. If you need to change the dimension, just click on the, type in the dimension at the command line, and then it will start with a different value. Hit the escape button to cancel out of it, start it again, and now you'll see this time, if you have your dynamic input button on, you'll see where you're prompted on the screen where it says to specify the offset distance. You can type in 0.5 there instead of going down to the command line, but it will change. So then we can change that value. So there's the 0.5. If you're using a circle command, the offset works exactly the same. If you draw a circle and then you want to offset, type in the distance that you would like to offset, and then pick the object and then pick the side that you would offset. One of the features on here is you can actually erase the current object. So as you offset, it will erase the first one. So it says erase the source object after offsetting. Right now it's set at no, so that way I have an offset each time. But if I change that to yes, specify the distance, and then each time I offset, that object that you select erases as you go along. If you don't want that feature active anymore, you need to make sure that you go back and change the erase to no. So it will stay on yes if you don't change that back. When using a polygon, this is extremely helpful because a polygon, if you're drawing, let's just say an 8-side polygon, let's just pick the center of the circle, circumscribe it about that circle. There we go. So if you're offsetting that polygon, and if you don't have each one of these, if you draw a polygon and it's broken up into individual lines, it will take a lot of time to offset each one of those. But with a polygon, when you offset, we'll type in 0.5, it offsets everything together. Here I have a polygon that each one of the lines is individual. So I'll show you the difference between the two. So if I offset this one 0.5, you can see that it takes a lot more time because I would have to go around and select every single line. And then I would have to go back and join each one of the lines together. So that would take a lot of time. So you don't want to do that. If you have an object that or a geometry or shape that needs to be made into a polyline, underneath your Modify toolbar is an Edit Polyline button. So if you go to Edit Polyline, you will select an object. AutoCAD's going to look and determine if it's a polyline. If it's not a polyline, it's going to ask you, do you want to turn it into one? And we want to hit Enter for yes, and then Join, and then go back and select each one of the lines that we want to join, I think we can just do a crossing there. Hit the enter button, and now it is it's a polyline, so it will offset. So if I go to offset now, type in 0.5, I'm going to hit enter, then offset that. Now we're back to an individual. So that works with odd construction as well. So we'll just kind of throw out something there. It doesn't have to just be like a polygon. It can be anything, any geometry, even with curves. So I'm going to click on the Edit Polyline, select it. Yes, I want to turn it into one. I want to join it, draw a window around my geometry, hit the Offset button, type in the distance, pick the polygon, and there we go. So that is your offset.